Unrestricted content. That's what we are. Dun, 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 dun. There should be music playing or something. Boom, boom,
Hey
boom.
everybody, it was a journey, but we're here now. So we wanted to welcome everyone to the inaugural episode of Unrestricted Content. I'm Susan Leighton, one of your hosts. And by day, I'm a writer for 1428 Elm, and every Friday night I become nerdrotic, and now I'm totally unrestricted content. And introducing my lovely co-host from California and other parts unknown. Here is Abby Fagan, everybody.
Yay! Hey, everybody. You might know me from Bruce on the Loose, the Bruce Campbell Fan Podcast, or that's about it. And here I am with the lovely Susan Leighton. I love her. We've been talking for, God, how long now?
Okay, well, hey, let's not scare the people right away. But we
You
wanted
sure?
to tell you a little bit what we're about here. We're trying to do something a little different on the YouTube. We're trying to basically give you a television show without all those annoying commercials. So you're not going to get a lot of the content that you find on other podcasts. So just bear with us. It's going to be a lot of touch and go, a lot of figuring out what we're doing as we go along, but I guarantee you the journey is going to be well worth it. So we have some things that we do that we're going to do every week. And one of them is this is going to be a constant thing. It's basically what the fuck is Hollywood doing now? It's where Abby and I are going to make sense out of all the crap that goes on in La La Land so you don't have to. This week, however, we happened to be getting in the van. Abby, why don't you tell our listeners, or our viewers rather, what they'll be getting with that little segment?
Well, every week we'll be getting, one or two people in our van. And no, there's no free candy. Susan told me I couldn't. Um, but there will be duct tape. There will be rope. Oh, no, she said no to that too. But we're
Yeah,
going to throw.
we had a discussion about electrical tape. Apparently, I don't. And for everybody out there, I know nothing about any of this, but I'm just told by Abby that electrical tape is what does the trick. I don't know. I don't know how you come by that experience, but maybe it's best we don't tell everybody about it.
You ever had a little brother?
That's always a good thing. Or an annoying coworker, we can all identify with that. But we'll probably have. Are we going to get some graphics in later, or how are we going to do that?
Oh, graphics are already in, dude.
Oh, they are. All right. Well,
Are
we'll
you
just
not
go with
watching the
that,
live
and I'll.
stream right now?
Hey, look, I'm a multitasker, but right now I'm a unitasker because I have no. I'll watch the playback. You know, I'll see how that goes. But
It'll
let's
be
talk first.
interesting.
Let's go to our first segment. We want to understand what the fuck is going on in Hollywood. Basically, as Peter Griffin would say, what's grinding my gears is all these remakes, reboots, reimaginings, everything with the I'm tired of hearing about it. And today I think I hit the apex of that annoyance when Deadline reported that Kelsey Grammer is now basically interviewing writers, taking pitches for a Frasier reboot. We had 11 seasons of Frasier. I'm a big Frasier fan. I love you, Kelsey. I know you're not watching this. Yeah, you love Kelsey too.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the problem with this. He had 11 good seasons. Okay, and plus he has the distinction of being the most well-known character that actually appeared in over 20 years of television.
Yeah.
So he's got that big distinction right away because he went from Cheers to Frasier.
Frasier. Right.
So now we're going to go and look at Frasier again. And my question is, we had 11 seasons. Toward the end, it didn't. It was, it kind of petered out. There was lack of interest. Now he says he wants to go back and he wants to revisit the character, but the character's in a different series. I mean, a different city.
Right.
So we know John Mahoney, R.I.P. John Mahoney, the great John Mahoney's gone. What can this possibly be about? I mean, do you want to see this, Abby? Do you want to see a Frasier reboot?
Well, here's the thing is it's funny that you bring this up because I just recently watched the finale, and it left on a cliffhanger. He was supposed to go to San Francisco, and he ended up in Chicago. And he was
Oh,
supposedly following the love of his life. But that's the last episode.
well, we've all done that. We've all gone cross country for the love of our lives. I mean, you know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll see more about
we do.
that. But okay, that's interesting that
Guilty.
he ended up in Chicago because I forgot about that. Because then, shortly, well, not shortly, but then he had a series that I loved called Boss. It was on Stars
Oh,
and
that's why.
lasted about a hot second, and then it was canceled. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
Stars is good at
Stars?
that.
How do I remember that? Stars. Let me
Hmm.
think.
Thanks,
Oh yeah,
Stars.
Ash versus Evil Dead.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Stars, for
so
canceling all my favorite shows.
yeah. Did you ever see Boss?
No.
He was in Chicago and basically he played the mayor of Chicago. And he was pretty dastardly. It was almost Shakespearean in like King Lear. I mean, he was very evil, but then it came to be revealed that he had a disease and it was a very debilitating disease. And eventually he was going to die. And just as we got into all the ramifications of that, it was like Stars was like, well, yeah, we're done. I know Stars has a habit of doing that. They did it to me with
Thanks,
Boss.
Stars.
They did it to me with Blunt Talk. Blunt Talk, Sir Patrick Stewart, goodbye. Seth MacFarlane, bye. Ash versus Evil Dead, bye. So it's like,
Gods of America or whatever that one was. What was that one? American Gods.
which one? With what?
American
American Gods.
Gods.
Well, that's supposed to come back. They're filming. So, but
Oh.
it's taking them from yeah, season 2. They're coming back.
Oh, well,
So,
season
yeah.
3 they'll be done.
Yeah, season 3 there'll be this whole thing where it'll be I don't understand that either. I know we're kind of straying from the topic, but it's like you get to season 3 on TV and now it's like you have to wait. It's like, you might as well plan on season 3, it could end. So that's why I have this idea that I think creators should just forget the traditional, we're going to do X amount of episodes. And I think they should do is just pitch a limited series. We're doing 10 episodes. There you go. And if they don't like it, they don't have to worry about it. It aired. But if they do like it, then you can go back to the table and negotiate. But I think this is where they should go because gone are the days of television for like what did it used to be? We used to get like a bazillion episodes of TV. Now you get between 8 to 10 episodes.
You
And
get
I
it.
think that people automatically go in and figure they're never going to get renewed. I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on that one?
I stopped watching syndicated television because I have been so disappointed. Not syndicated. I'm sorry. Series. The X Files,
Right.
all those things. I stopped watching them because, like, the X Files lasted for what? 9 seasons before it got quitted, but I started watching Lucifer and got really into it, and it's canceled now. And it lasted 3 seasons. Maybe it's the 3-season curse. I don't know. Maybe people are so glued to, this that television doesn't exist anymore.
But the thing of it is that I think they forget that when you're glued to this, TV comes to you. Wow, imagine this thing here, television can exist. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think they forgot. Yeah, they
What?
forget about that, or maybe they don't care. I don't know. But the bottom
Also,
line is yeah, go ahead.
like Netflix is a lot cheaper than
Right,
cable. It's 3 times less than cable is. I pay
right,
$150 for my cable, but that includes internet and all that fun stuff. But you pay $20 for Netflix and you're going to get all the shows that Netflix puts on there. And I've noticed that Netflix isn't putting so many shows that used to go to, television onto Netflix because Netflix has its own series now. Series is
right,
I don't know.
right.
It just seems like people
Yeah,
are
I mean,
more cheap.
you're gonna go where people want. The thing of it is and we saw this with Ash versus Evil Dead. People want one platform. They don't want to go all over. Same with their social media. They don't want to go from from Twitter to Facebook to Instagram. They just want everything as a one-stop shop. And a lot of your streaming services like Netflix, Amazon, you're going to get that. Plus, you get some bonuses as well.
Right.
But with those, what I like about the streaming services is you're getting original content. You're not getting reboots. You're not getting reimaginings, remakes. I mean, I just want to scream at Hollywood and go, can you quit desecrating my childhood? Because now it's like, in addition to, well, Frasier, I was an adult when that was on, but now we're going back to get Alf. Do we need Alf? Was there a public outcry for Alf? I don't think there was. So we're going back to get Alf, and now we're getting the chilling adventures of Sabrina.
What?
So it's my understanding with that, though, it's going to be more in line with the dark comic. And the creator was so, I don't want to say upset, but she was very, very worried about the backlash she was getting. Because when the news broke that Sabrina was getting rebooted, everybody lost their mind. And they're like, "Oh my god, we don't need this. Are you bringing back the original cast?" And she finally came out and said it's a sequel. It's not a reboot. It's not a remake. It's a sequel. And I guess that was to justify the direction that they want to go in now, because
Right.
we're getting a new vampire slayer.
Oh, Buffy.
And yeah, Buffy's new. Buffy's going to be new. And I guess Monica felt the need to come out and explain, what their plans were, what they were doing. And it does lessen it a bit. But then the explanation is it's a new era. We need a new Slayer. There's so much darkness in the world. Isn't that why we have entertainment, is to escape the darkness in the world?
That's what I was thinking. But
But apparently not. I mean, I don't know. I think with me, when I start to watch TV, when I start to lose interest is if I get spoon fed a message. And I don't know if you remember the movie, what was it? Don't drink your. I'm gonna butcher this title, but it was a parody about don't drink your juice in the hood
don't
or
drink
whatever,
your
and it was the
juice while.
Wayans.
Wait. Don't. Oh, man. While drinking your juice in the hood. Don't be a menace
Yeah,
while
yeah,
drinking your. Don't be a menace to South Central
juice in
while
the hood.
drinking your juice in the hood.
Right, there you go. You win. But yeah, so we had that, and every time a character came in and gave a message, you had one of the Wayans guys go, message. That's what I feel like every time I watch television anymore is like, message. Okay, I got that received. I'm not adult. You don't have to hit me over the head with this is incorrect or this is a proper way of behavior. I'm not an idiot. I'll figure it out.
Right.
But, apparently there's going to be, I don't know, I want to say social themes are going to be in this Buffy. Buffy that we're getting now. And actually, yeah, we were Buffy. Then we were originally talking about Sabrina, though. But Sabrina, she's going to be dark now, too. So where we had, Melissa Joan Hart, we're getting Kieran Shipka, and she's from Mad Men, and she's the lead, surprisingly looking a lot like a young Melissa Joan Hart. But Sabrina's going to be decidedly darker and not so much light. She's going to have to contend with being part witch and being part human. So we're going to get that struggle. I mean,
sounds
at
interesting.
least, yeah, I mean, at least with Sabrina, unlike Buffy, they're coming at us with, yeah, it's Sabrina. You're familiar with her, but we're going to take her down a couple notches and she's going to be dark. And we're going to make it kind of scary. Now, for whatever reason, I'm okay with that. Now, whether or not I watch it on Netflix, that's another story. But at least you're giving me something off the beaten path. You're not giving me the same thing and we're just redoing it for 2018.
Right.
So that's what we're getting with her. And then now, did you watch 24?
No. I mean, I have.
Okay.
I know the storyline and all that fun. So I did never got into it though.
Never watched it. Yeah. Jack Bauer, okay, he had a good run. Then he left, and then we had 24 Legacy with the new guy. That didn't go over well.
Nope.
Because people want Kiefer. They want Jack Bauer. Sound familiar? So now we're gonna figure out what happened with Jack Bauer prior to 24. So we're getting a sequel. Now, according to Deadline, Kiefer is going to be an executive producer, but there's no saying right now that he's going to star in it. So, and even if he did, how are they going to do that? I'm going to be honest. Kiefer's 52. He will be 52 in December.
That's still
He's
young.
as old as I am. Well, to be Jack Bauer, come on now. He's in his 50s. I mean, well, wait a minute. He's in his 50s, so's Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise is hanging off the airplane.
Yeah.
So I guess he could. He could do it, but it's a prequel, so he's going to be looking like a 52-year-old man in the prequel.
Oh.
Yeah. And if they CGI him, like I've seen in certain movies when they have characters come back and then they'll CGI them to their, like, what they were like 20 years ago, and you're like, wait a minute, how is this even happening? So are they going to CGI the shit out of Kiefer? I mean, he's 52 now. He's attractive, but he's got the marks of a 52-year-old man. I just don't know if they put him in it, how in the hell they're going to do it. I have no clue.
He actually plays his father, and they get somebody to replace him. Joke. I don't really know.
That old chestnut. Where he's Jack Bauer's dad. Let's think about that for a minute. I wonder how people would feel about that.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, they'd see him.
He'd still be there.
True. And then you'd have to find somebody that looks like a young Kiefer Sutherland.
Right.
Which, good luck with all that.
Doesn't he have a son?
I mean, I'm sure they could. Does Kiefer have a son? I don't know. I'm going to say no because I know he has a daughter. So, I mean, but sometimes even
So
kids don't
Kiefer
look like
Sutherland
they're,
had a sex change. Jack Bauer was actually
oh,
Jacqueline Bauer before he became Jack Bauer. I'm just kidding.
oh, now we're doing this. Now we're doing, oh my God.
Just,
Yeah, that's a whole other YouTube. There are YouTube channels with people screaming about that type of stuff where they're kind of like, I don't know, they're throwing agendas into the entertainment. And now that you put that out into the universe,
watch it
please,
happen.
for the
Watch
love
it
of God,
happen.
no, don't. Oh, yeah, 'cause I can just see the people are probably going to start screaming like any minute now about that.
Can you
What?
see
And then
them? Are
they'll
they
think
chatting with
Deadline
you?
put it out. Yeah. Are they talking to us? No, Deadline is not talking to us. We're the last people they talk to. But I mean, all of this and people I've been talking about this a lot on social media with various people about the remakes and everything. And some guy said to me, he's like, well, I want to see Frasier. And I said, that's good. I'm not knocking you for wanting to check in with Frasier. But for me, I'm okay with leaving it now. I'm okay with, I knew Frasier in the 90s into the early 2000s. I'm glad I had those memories. I loved the show. On with it. I don't have to catch up, don't have to. And there's a lot of people that are like, well, why are we getting all these reboots? Why are we getting these remakes? Very simple. Because people are still going to the box office. They're still getting the ratings. And as long as they get those two things, Hollywood's never going to stop. And the only way they'll stop is if people quit going to see all of them at the box office and they quit watching the shows.
Right.
Because the only thing that Hollywood understands is the bottom line and profit. And if you get them in the pocketbook, that's it. They're not going to they're not going to make these shows anymore. And we're not going to get this plethora of reboots, reimaginings, and everything.
Right.
I mean, case in point, somebody on Facebook that we both know threw up in Hamilton. There she is, Linda Hamilton in a dead franchise. And all the comments were, "Why are we doing this? Why are we going back to Terminator? What are we doing this for?" And the unfortunate part about it is that I agree with it, but if it's news, I have to report it.
Right.
And just because if it's news doesn't necessarily mean I'm on board with all these remakes, reboots, what have you. But it's there, so I try to be impartial. And I mean, as much as this is going to be like a dagger to my heart when I say this, I love Sam. I love Rob. We don't need the grudge. I'm sorry. We had the grudge. We don't need this grudge. I know. You're like, yeah, exactly. That time is gone. But, you know, I don't know. And I feel bad talking about this particular one, knowing that I have great affection for the two people that are behind it. While they're just part of it, there's more because now there's a lawsuit. Because apparently, Good Universe that partnered with Renaissance,
Hmm.
they told one of the original producers that he could be a producer and that there would be a share of the profits or what have you. Well, that's not the case. So he's taken them to court. And I just reported about that yesterday. So nothing as of yet has been said if production's been stopped or whatever, but they have that little obstacle now. And a lot of the feedback, even from diehard Sam Raimi fans, why do we have to do this? And it's just like, I don't know who makes the decisions in that team. I don't know, but it seems to me like every time I turn around, Rob Tapert's rebooting something or thinking about rebooting something. I'm like Rob, can just stop? Can we stop? Xena, we're the reboot, but the thing of it is that they want Lucy. and they want Renee.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy wants to see a person of color as Xena.
I agree.
She's on board for it with a different Xena, and she's, because she's even kind of intimated that at 50 she's not up for harnesses and rigs, and she broke her pelvis when she did Xena.
Right.
So I mean, as a fellow 50-year-old woman, who wants to do that? Unless I'm ziplining, but that's a whole other story. Yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, there you go. And I don't even know. I keep on thinking, is this Rob Tappert? Doesn't Sam have other things going on? What is that all about?
Right.
I mean, because I'd like to think Sam's got stuff happening, because supposedly we're looking at Ryan Reynolds.